Now at 6 in tonight's Operation Crime and Justice report, a serial rapist was sentenced to more than 46 years in prison for victimizing several people and recording the assaults. Good evening, I'm Preston Phillips.
And I'm Mary Num. The crime spanned 2 states and went undiscovered for years until the women found cameras in the bathroom and bedroom of a Capitol Hill apartment. KOMO's Leanne Nguyen was in court this morning as the victims faced their rapist. Leanne?
Well, prosecutors tell me, though there are 5 victims associated with this case, there are more victims whose cases could not be brought to court.
You will always be a danger to the public.
49-year-old Redwolf Pope will likely spend the rest of his life in prison for the rapes of several women, which he recorded in his Capitol Hill apartment and in a hotel in Santa Fe.
I think that we're more in a space that we're happy that it's done for the survivors at this point. And, you know, we presented what we wanted to present to the jury.
The investigation started in 2018 when 2 victims found cameras in the bathroom and a bedroom, later discovering videos on Pope's iPad showing him raping multiple unconscious women, with the victims often having no memory of the assaults.
The fact that he wants to inflict maximum damage on anyone who does not serve his purposes, and he will continue to do that in any way that he can.
Priscilla Moreno says she was a victim of Pope's abuse and had a protection order against him, but he was never charged in her case and went on to terrorize multiple unknowing victims.
Completely horrified and also infuriated that I had spoken out, and if people would have taken me seriously, I don't know that we would have gotten to this point if he would have been able to be so prolific and the credibility that he had.
After years of healing from the trauma, Moreno and others were finally able to address Pope in court through victim impact statements. Pope represented himself during trial and spoke for well over an hour during his sentencing, claiming there was tampering of evidence and that someone else placed the cameras in the apartment.
It was disgusting. It was absolutely disgusting. He was very much focused on his ego. I don't even think he was really focused on his own defense. He was focused on his ego, not any of the actual legal issues.
And court documents also state that many of the victims did not remember anything about the assaults or that they were even victims until police showed them some of the images in an effort to identify some of the people on those videos. Preston and Mary, I'll send it back to you.
Leanne, some of these crimes took place in New Mexico. Did he ever face consequences there?
Well, according to court documents, he was convicted of similar crimes in New Mexico, including 2 felony sex crimes, which he was on probation for, while this case here in King County was still ongoing. We'll send it back to you.
Leanne, thank you.